Joao Palhinha responds to Manchester United interest after rejected Bayern Munich bids. Fulham midfielder Joao Palhinha will reject any approach from Manchester United and is intent on joining Bayern Munich this summer, according to reports in Germany. The 28-year-old came close to joining Bayern last summer, but his €65 million (£55.6 million) move collapsed in the closing stages of the transfer window as Fulham were unable to sign a replacement. Palhinha signed a new contract with Fulham shortly after the transfer window closed, but after another impressive season in the Premier League, the midfielder is expected to be on the move this summer. Bayern have retained their interest in the Portugal international. However, reports this week have claimed that two bids from the Bundesliga club, the highest of which being €45 million (£38 million), have been rejected by Fulham. Manchester United and Barcelona have also registered their interest in Palhinha, but according to Sky Germany, the midfielder has made it clear to Fulham that he only wants to move to Bayern. The report claims that both Bayern and Palhinha are confident an agreement can be reached before the end of the summer window. Speaking after his failed move to Bayern last September, Palhinha said, "Obviously, it affected me and my family a lot, but it's water under the bridge. I don't want to remember too much about it. It's a great pride, you know what happened. In my life, everything that has been happening, it has been for a reason. I like to think that way. The future will tell me whether what really happened was what had to happen or not. But only the future will show me that. I want to continue walking the journey as I've been doing. No one has given me anything throughout my career. Everything I've achieved is earned for my work. I hope that continues to be the case. I'm 28 years old, but I know I can reach higher, and it's with this ambition that I face the future." Thomas Tuchel, who was also supported Bayern's push to sign Palhinha for the start of the season, said, "I was sad because I know what he would have added to our team. He was sad and disappointed. We'll speak again about what happened. Everyone did what they had to do, but it was too late in the end." Joao Neves in Gallagher decision, Mainoo partner, Man United dream midfield with £140 million move. Joao Neves continues to sit on the tip of Man United's tongue after becoming the latest graduate from Benfica's well-established academy. The merry-go-round that is Manchester United's transfer rumour mill continues to rumble on, with nearly a new name linked with a move to Old Trafford every day. On Thursday, Lille striker Jonathan David was a fresh name thrown into the mix as a potential new number 9. On Friday, Chelsea midfielder Conor Gallagher emerged as a candidate to strengthen Erik ten Hag's midfield. Anyone that watched United last season quickly realized that they considerably lack a consistent midfield trio throughout. Bruno Fernandes and then Kobbie Mainoo both became consistent names in the middle of the park, but there was also something missing. Scott McTominay, Christian Eriksen, and Casemiro did the job when needed, but there always seemed to be a lack of world-class quality. The task on the club's newly constructed hierarchy's hands is recruiting that quality ahead of next season. FFP complicates things for United, like it does for many teams in the Premier League, but there is a list of candidates that present a realistic and affordable opportunity. Gallagher, an England international, could be available for just £42 million. However, constant links to Joao Neves do counter the Red Devils' required cleverness in the market. The Benfica star has a reported €120 million (£101.5 million) release clause in his contract in Portugal, but suggestions in Europe have claimed he could be available for lower than €100 million (£84.5 million). Even then, that would make him United's second most expensive arrival. It's a predicament and will be no easy ask to get the right combination in midfield. But what would ten Hag's dream midfield trio look like for the first game of the season against Fulham in August? Here, Men Sport takes a look. Joao Neves. United and Portuguese wonderkids have a history of working out. Neves seems to be the number one target for United, and when watching him play, it's obvious why. 88.5% pass completion rate last season with 56 passes leading to a shot, for a player who sits deep, is impressive. Unsurprisingly, Paris Saint-Germain are keeping tabs on his situation, and after freeing up millions on Kylian Mbappe's wages, there's no doubt that they can afford him. However, the player's choice matters, and the chance to follow in the footsteps of Cristiano Ronaldo could be tempting for Neves. Benfica are understandably going to do their very best to keep hold of their midfield man. At 19, he has the world at his feet, and he isn't expected to stay at Benfica for much longer. His addition would fit in nicely with the man to follow him on this list. Kobbie Mainoo. United's own academy product has been a trending topic over the last 24 hours for being kept on the bench for England, but that's a conversation for another day. Mainoo, 19, has the potential to be a first-team regular for years to come, with him so mature and clever in his defensive work. Something Ten Hag's side really lacked last year was a solid base with two midfielders sat in front of the defenders. Conor Gallagher. This one is more of an alternative to Neves. A slightly different profile in midfield, but someone who would improve Ten Hag's options. Gallagher has proved to be a quality Premier League player over the last 2 seasons, but Chelsea's own FFP concerns mean he's in the shop window. A more box-to-box midfielder, the England international could be the missing piece for United. Of course, a pivot of Mainoo and Neves sounds unbelievable, but having a water carrier there who can do the defensive and offensive side of things rather well was often missing in certain games. Coming in as a homegrown player for just £42 million, Gallagher's signature is highly contested and United could certainly do worse. Bruno Fernandes. Despite criticism and speculation of him potentially leaving the club, Fernandes will once again play a crucial part for United and Ten Hag next season. Since moving from Sporting CP, he has scored 79 goals and 66 assists in 233 games. That is a decent return. Question marks over his commitment to the club should not carry over to next season. Fernandes recently spoke about being proud to represent the club, and he will have another season to prove his status as world-class as United's attacking midfielder. Man United's dream midfield next season: Kobbie Mainoo, Joao Neves, Conor Gallagher, Bruno Fernandes. Manchester United are unwitting pawns as Premier League rules turn transfer window into a farce. Man United could do business before next Sunday, but the unofficial first deadline day of the window has been turned into something of a joke by the Premier League. The Premier League's stringent spending rules and a willingness to throw the book at clubs who breach them have had the effect of creating a second deadline day in the summer transfer window. We wait to see if this one gets the yellow tie treatment, but next Sunday, June 30th, is a day circled in red for at least a few Premier League clubs. That is the final day of their 2023-24 accounting year and the date by which they need to balance the books to avoid breaking profit and sustainability rules, PSR. Everton, Aston Villa, Newcastle United and Chelsea are 4 clubs who are particularly concerned about their PSR position, so you will have to consider it incredibly beneficial that they just so happen to have taken such a shine to each other's academy prospect. Sarcasm aside, the blame for this farce should lie with the Premier League. Their rules have created a situation in which it suits clubs to sell academy players. PSR and amortization are terms the average football fan knew nothing about a couple of years ago. Now, it is pub chat at this time of year. The sale of academy players represents pure profit on the books, while new signings have their fees spread over the length of a contract. So selling an academy player for £10 million and signing a player for £10 million on a 5-year contract actually goes down as £8 million profit. It's an accounting trick, but one that Premier League clubs are turning to make sure they fall within the Premier League's allowed loss limits. It has led to a series of deals over the last few days that clearly are intended to boost the PSR position of clubs close to the margin. Ian Maatsen is leaving Chelsea for Aston Villa, while Omari Kellerman goes in the opposition direction. Villa midfielder Tim Iroegbunam has already swapped Villa Park for Goodison Park, and it is expected winger Lewis Dobbin will make the opposite journey. Also set to leave Everton is striker Dominic Calvert-Lewin, not strictly an academy graduate, but a player whose transfer fee has long since been fully amortized. He could sign for Newcastle United, while Magpies winger Yankuba Minteh could go in the opposite direction after the 19-year-old enjoyed a productive loan spell at Feyenoord last season. This is all very convenient, and these deals are clearly designed to get around spending controls. It makes a mockery of PSR and shows the Premier League simply has to rip it up and start again when it comes to their rules. Manchester United have been monitoring their own PSR position, but don't appear to be in a desperate enough position to force a sale through. In fact, there was a belief they could make a signing before June 30th. The most likely candidate for that was Jarrad Branthwaite, but hopes are receding with Everton's transfer market chicanery in the last couple of days. With the Toffees confident they won't breach PSR for a third time if Dobbin and Calvert-Lewin are sold, it allows them to drive a harder bargain with United for their most prized asset. If United do want to swell their balance sheet before next Sunday, then selling Mason Greenwood is the easiest way to achieve that. The academy graduate won't play for the club again, and a trio of Italian clubs, Juventus, Lazio and Napoli, are keen. A deal could be struck this week. It is the other deals going through that should be raising eyebrows at the Premier League, however. The rules have to change. Man United preparing £118 million double transfer raid as Ineos eye Jarrad Branthwaite alternative. Sporting CP midfielder Morten Hjulmand and defender Goncalo Inacio have both emerged as Manchester United transfer targets. Manchester United are preparing to step up their transfer interest in Sporting CP duo Goncalo Inacio and Morten Hjulmand, according to new reports. Erik ten Hag is hoping to welcome new additions in defence, midfield and attack with this potential double raid of the Portuguese club meeting two of those aims. Hjulmand in particular has captured attention after a couple of impressive performances for Denmark at Euro 2024 while also scoring a superb goal against England earlier this week. Inacio meanwhile, target of Liverpool, is fresh off an excellent season in defence for the Primera Liga champions and is also at the summer tournament in Germany, though he has played just 27 minutes thus far. As a result of his and Hjulmand's impressive last few months, interest from United is no surprise according to Portuguese newspaper A Bola, the 21st of June 24. United are prepared to advance in deals for both players, though it could cost them £118.4 million. It is believed that Hjulmand has a £67.7 million €80 million exit clause following the 24-year-old's move from Lex last summer. Inacio also has a set release clause, though it is much lower at £50.7 million €60 million, and it is also less than what United would have to pay to sign Jarrad Branthwaite. Interest from Old Trafford in the Everton defender has been known for some time, with United seeing their first proposal of £43 million rejected swiftly. With that in mind, a second offer is in the works, though it is unlikely to come that close to Everton's £70 million minimum valuation. As such, United could be better off fully turning their attention away from Branthwaite and onto the 22-year-old as their replacement for Raphael Varane.